All right, we're back with Tour Talk. We had a great discussion on the last video. I think a lot of points were made, and that's what I want, so I want to keep doing these. I think it helps bring some light on what's going on in the world of golf and kind of bring some differing opinions. Again, my opinion is just as somebody that's, been a part of a lot of this stuff that we'll talk about, and, coaches at a collegiate level, has coached at, professional events, has, worked professional events, been a rules official, all of that stuff. So just trying to give my side of it and kind of open up some doors maybe on ways to think. So today we're going to get into the rangefinder thing that came out this week. Let's do it. All right, so Scott Hogan coming at you. Here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about the yardage book versus the rangefinder. The hot topic is, are we still going to need these as we go through on tour and be able to play and see if, speeds up play, things like that. So we'll talk about that here in a sec, and I'll give my opinion on it too. But before we do that, make sure you sign up if you're interested in getting coached. We have our online class. It is filling up, so don't miss out on it. We have a limited number of spots, so we don't want you to miss out on getting some help for less than the cost of a private lesson with me in person. You can have a 6-week class to work on your game. So with that, let's get into rangefinder versus these yardage books. Big news, PGA of America, the organization I'm a part of, announced that they will allow rangefinders at the PGA Championship coming up. I think this is going to be similar to like the shorts rule. The PGA Championship was like the first place you could wear shorts at a practice round. And I think the European Tour might have done it too. But basically, it's going to work its way into the tour. I think the tour kind of likes to see what happens, and I think it'll go. They're going to find out that nothing really happens, I think, but we'll talk about that in a sec. So what does that mean? Well, at the PGA Championship, you can have players use a rangefinder in practice or in the competitive round. Caddies can do it too, and that's nothing new to, rangefinders have been legal for a long time, as long as they don't have slope features where it can tell how much up or down the shot is playing. And you can't have anything that would say like wind or anything like that. I don't know if that even exists, but if it does, you can't have that. You basically can only get the yardage as it is, right? So I personally have a rangefinder that turns on and off the slope, because when I'm coaching and we do practice rounds, we write down how much it plays and how much it doesn't. And caddies, to be honest, have used rangefinders in practice rounds for a long time, basically for that reason. So what happens is when you get a range, let's talk about the process that a player goes through to hit a shot. So I'm going to open up a page of this book, and so this is from Sawgrass. This is actually the Tour Yardage book. It's a little old, but this is what they call the book. All right, and so when you open it up, you get the top, you're going to have a page that is just the golf hole, okay? And this is, I would say, like your driving page. When you're hitting tee shots, you're going to have notes about where your lines are. And then you have your bottom page, which is basically the layup and the approach and the green and stuff like that. So these things are extremely detailed. I think when you look at how the tour has kind of set things up and how tournaments are set up, unless they do any changing to the pin sheets that they use, I don't really see it making a big difference. So, for an example, the pin sheets that we use in our section events, where we've been using rangefinders for a long time, they mark everything from the center of the green. So they'll say, all right, the pin is 8 back. It's 28 back from the front. And then they also give us from the center, okay, that's 8 back from the center. So when I do that, I can shoot the pin, and then I kind of get a little bit of a better picture of where things are at. But if it's just the front, I don't have any idea of like where certain areas of the green are other than the front edge of the green. I could probably figure out the back as well. But when we look at it, let's dive into the book here. I'm going to go onto the driving page first. These things are actually really, really accurate. It is somebody that's come out and lasered the golf course, and not just with a rangefinder. They get a bunch of equipment out there to laser these things. But you can see they mark where every sprinkler head is, and they mark where any kind of big trouble would be. Like, so this is a water hazard this is the 7th hole at Sawgrass, and they tell them, like, all right, from the back tee, the extreme back edge of the farthest back tee, it's 345 to get to that water hazard. So caddies will work off of that. If the tee's moved in a different space, they will do that. The caddies go and walk all this stuff before they ever go. Then, and they know all the adjustments that could be coming up. And then from here, you get into the approach part, and this is where it starts getting really detailed. They'll start drawing all the bunkers. You can see here, these lines represent that there are slopes running away from that bunker, okay? And it's colored in because it is a bunker. These are just representing grass hills. These are representing all the little slopes on the greens. And what you have is these numbers that represent where is it from the front edge of the green, okay? So, for example, this bunker on the right is 16 from the front. This slope in the left side of the green is 10 from the front, 17 from the front, 30 from the front. This whole green is 34. The back edge to the front edge is 34. They would say yards or paces, about a yard is what they try to get those at. And so you're going to see that, hey, there's a bunch of things there that we can look at and go from, things that we're doing. Over here on the right rough, you can see they have some sprinkler heads that are marked over here that are way off to the side. They got some more over here on the left side. And then you get into the fairway, and again, he has the sprinkler heads marked that, they think are going to be the most common that you will play from. You can see you come down here, and then you're going to see that, hey, he puts in some notes like low mound, okay? So that's not as big of a mound. You got the cart path, stuff like that. So he does put all this detail in. And one of the things, too, that he'll do is every sprinkler head, you see this was the 116 sprinkler head. The top number is to the center, but this bottom number is the number that's written really big because that's the number that the caddies and the players care about. It is 99 to the front. They take their pin sheet, which is marked from the front, and they add it on. So that gets them their yardage to the pin. They can also say, all right, it's 99, so I know I've got 115 to carry the bunker. I've got 25. So, they start doing their math off of that. So what do I think is going to happen if you give them a rangefinder? I still think they're going to do all of these things. These yardage books are so detailed. You can even see, it says JICYFU, just in case I'll let you fill in the blanks there. They put that in on all the pages where that's necessary. So you're going to get players that aren't going to be comfortable with the numbers that people get on a rangefinder. As I've coached my college team, I have to preach this to my players. I've had plenty of times where a player has shot something. They're like, oh, I got it. And then they get the hills behind or the tree behind, and they fly the green by 25 yards. The moment that happens, the rangefinder is going to be gone for that player. They're not going to rely on it in a millions of dollars situation. So they're just going to be getting rid of it anyway, and they're going to say, hey, you get all the numbers and all that stuff. I just don't see, if you have a caddy that's really good at getting numbers, they're going to still do it. If anything, it might be a situation where the caddy is going to still work off of the yardage book and the player is going to shoot the thing, because they can have even more confirmation that they have the correct yardage to the pin and stuff like that. But that even might slow it up a little bit. I just can't see them getting rid of all of this information that they have to shoot and be less precise than this. They're not going to get less precise, that's for sure. And most of the caddies already go out and shoot everything on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and get the laser out and make all the adjustments in their book that they need. So to get the rangefinder back out, they're just going to be doing all this in their head again. So again, I'm not really sure what it's going to do for the tour. Now, do I like it? I do like that they're going to do it, and here's why. Okay, I like it because of what the optics of it bring. I like it that there will be rangefinders that are visible. Now, Bushnell and all the rangefinder companies, they're going to love this. They're going to love this part of it. But I like that they're going to see people using a rangefinder, because I think a lot of golfers don't realize that for the average player, a rangefinder is a great investment to actually get an exact yardage instead of just looking over there and saying, there's the 150 mark. All right, I'm probably like 130. Instead of eyeballing things up, for the average player, Yes, I want them trying to get yardages. Yeah, take a shot at the bunker. Shoot the lip of the bunker. Shoot that bunker that you're trying to get over out there in the fairway. Yeah, you're going to be within a couple of yards. Now, on the tour level, within a couple of yards, not good enough. For us on the average level, way good. Way more than good enough. And I like it for that. And if it encourages people to go out and look at them, there's a lot of cheaper options now on the rangefinder game. So I would love to see people doing that. So that's kind of the big news on the tour this week. That's my thoughts on it. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below as well. Do you think it's going to help? Do you think it's a good idea? And go from there. So, yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.